Hello, this is David Hunt with GameMasters Guild, and today I want to show you a project for my haunted house which I just built, which is this awesome DIY glowing embers effect. Now this is all over the internet, everybody and their brother does it, but I thought, you know, it's time for me to go ahead and give it a try. And I went to the dollar store and I got one of these. It's like a plant, or it looks like a barrel cut in half on its side. It was 16 bucks. And I got a light string for like another $4 or $5 that I had just laying around that I bought during Halloween. And I got me a can of spray foam, and I went out and got some twigs. This was super easy to build, and I'm going to show you how I did mine. And I made mine portable because I used the light strings with the battery pack instead of plugging straight in the wall. So let's take a look and see what I did. Okay, and here we go. As you can see, here's my piece of cardboard that I cut out to put inside the barrel, and this is where my project's going to be mounted on. Here's the light string that I have, and as you can see, I use the Try Me button with the Try Me batteries, but it usually takes 3 AA's to work. Now there are different settings for this, and what's nice is I can put on any different setting I want. And what I also like about this is, since it's a battery pack, I don't have to worry about having an outlet, so I can put it anywhere. Now what I started doing is I cut a small slit in the cardboard so that way I could tuck a little bit of the wire through it, so that way when I went to insert the whole thing inside the barrel, it just made it a little easier for me. Now all anyone ever does with this project is just put the lights on and hit it with some spray foam. I wanted to, since these lights were so small, they weren't not heavy at all, I went ahead and used some painter's tape to kind of at least secure them in place so they wouldn't move around a lot when I was actually using the spray foam on them. Now I thought about, and this is something that you could do for your projects, and I've seen people use clear bottles and everything, but when I did this, this was very impromptu. The moment just kind of struck me, and I thought, I'm going to do this project. So I went, as I was doing this, I had a thought, well, maybe I'd put some cardboard underneath to kind of help build it up. And as you can see here, you know, I tried a couple pieces of cardboard and fussed with it, but I don't know, I really felt it was kind of unnecessary then. And you know, as it turns out, I just didn't need the cardboard, because the spray foam, when you put the spray foam on here, it expands enough for whatever project you're doing. Now if you're doing a really big project like a rock or something like that, something really big, or say a haunted tree, then you're going to want something to take up all the volume instead of just using nothing but spray foam. But that's a different case entirely. For a small project like this, it doesn't take a lot of spray foam to make it look really good. And that's something else you may want to consider, is if you're going to do a spray foam project this small, then you probably want to have another project that you can use the spray foam for and do it at the same time. And it's not hard to do, you know, because once you put the spray foam on, then you just walk away from one project and go to another. But anyways, and you can see here the wires are real fine. They move around a lot on me. Usually with string lights, they're heavier, and they've got a larger bulb, more material to it, and you just throw it down, they pretty much stay where they are. But these I definitely felt the need that I had to secure them. Okay, and I think that is just about going to do it. Just kind of untangling. I spent a little time untangling the lights a little bit and just make sure they got a nice even spread. Now at this point in the build, I wasn't even sure how it would even turn out because I didn't think the LEDs were going to be bright enough to even do what I needed. And I went ahead and got me another cardboard box, a bigger one, so I could put my project on top of that box. That way the spray foam, if I had anything running over, it wouldn't stick to anything else. And here I go. You just take the spray foam, and just like all the other videos, man, you just slap that spray foam on there. I tried to get underneath some of the light strings so the spray foam would start to come up and expand from below, and then also I put the foam on top of the light strings as well. And of course there was definitely some expansion going on, but not as much as I thought. And you always want to make sure to hold the can upside down and make sure you give it a really, really good shake. And I did my best to cover my borders and cover every little spot where I thought I saw some wire. I think in 1 or 2 spots, some of the wire just was right on top of the foam, but After this next part, it wasn't even a bother. Plus the foam's going to still kind of expand and kind of consume those light strings. And right now, this thing looks like nothing. But I tell you, just like in the beginning, you're going to see how well it's going to come out. And I'm not doing anything any different than anybody else. So if you say you can't do this, you are wrong, because this is the easiest project to do. And again, you can see it didn't take me very long to do this, so I kind of wish I'd made another one. I think I can still salvage my can of spray foam, but I really wish I had actually taken a chance and built another one at the same time. I am going to eventually make another one. Okay, now what I've done is I've actually cut out a couple minutes of me going away and gathering some sticks and twigs. And really, I just hunted up the ground behind the shop there, and I found a bunch of sticks and twigs, and I broke some up, and I just started to lay them on the spray foam. Most of them were just kind of horizontal, and there's a few that I kind of gave kind of an upwards incline, but also too I had to think about storing this later. I didn't want to take up a lot of space for what it was. And I also used the sticks to kind of help push those light strings down a little bit in the foam if they weren't already. And I just put them there, and at first, right now, it doesn't look like anything, but it comes out really good. And now, I do recommend, definitely, you want to wear some gloves. I had them in my pocket, and then I forgot about them in my eagerness to start making this project. That spray foam is really sticky, and I do highly recommend you wear some gloves. I also recommend that you wear some kind of glasses or goggles to protect your eyes just in case, and do this outside, because the spray foam, until it cures, does emit gases. And also too, you're going to be using spray paint, and here I'm using some red spray paint just to lightly hit the cured spray foam. And notice I'm not trying too hard to get every crack and crevice. I mean, I do my best just to give it a light coating, but I don't want to be too thick because I'm worried that the lights might not be able to show through. And you can see I just kind of spritz a little around it, and then I just kind of get the edges and get all the big stuff, as you can see. And I rotate it around, laid that board on to make sure the wind didn't blow my project away. Now, I really don't think that when you're applying spray paint to this project that there's any real particular way to do it. Just kind of whatever you feel like. I use just strictly red and black. You could probably throw maybe a little orange in there, but I honestly think red and black is just enough. And again, just want to lightly spray it, because in areas where I didn't get the red, then I hit it with the black. And don't be afraid, of course, to let the black overlap the red, and then maybe go back and maybe hit the black just a little bit with a little slight overspray of red. Don't be afraid to do that. Just remember, you don't want to be too close when using the spray cans, and you don't want to apply it too thick. And that's what I mean by being too close. You can be too close and apply too much to your project. And with this project, it's important because you still want to be able to have that light shine through the spray foam and actually get the effect that you want. And pretty much that's it. There we go. I add a little more black to it, and as you can see, I don't go back with any extra red. I applied the red first, then I applied the black, and I just kind of let it sit. I just made sure that there was no yellow of the spray foam showing, but even still, when the project is lit, if you have any spots of the spray foam that are not covered, it's not really going to matter. No one's going to notice it. It's just the light's going to shine brighter through those spots, and it's going to look really good. So now after I get done spraying it, I'm just going to leave it in the sun for a couple hours, and then I'm going to come back to it, and let's see what we got. Okay, now is the time for the moment of truth. When I started this project, I had no idea how it was going to come out. So at this point in time, when I'm actually filming it, I had no idea what was going to happen, and it came out amazing. As soon as it lit up, I was ecstatic. It was great. I was really, really pleased with the effect and how it came out. And I mean, look at how cool it is. And right now, as I hold down the Try Me button, it's cycling through the different light patterns that you can get with this particular light set. The only thing left to do now is to remove my project from the cardboard, and it's a good thing that I put it on another piece of cardboard, because I had to go around and I kind of had to pry it off the cardboard where the spray foam had kind of expanded over my original piece of cardboard. But that's why I used the second piece of cardboard, and I used my knife just to kind of bust it loose. Okay, and now let's take this and see how the finished product looks in the barrel. Okay, here we go, and wow, there it goes. My first DIY spray foam project. And I'm going to be using this in my haunted house for 2023. And again, this is a super easy project you can knock out in 2 or 3 hours, 4 tops. And you might even be able to build a couple of these at the same time. Well, thank you so much for watching. This was a great and fun thing for me to do, and I hope you try it too. And also, I hope you come check out our haunted house this year. And as always, I'm David Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, telling you to stay safe, play great games, and I'll see you real soon.